new edition of Humor Mill TV. Tonight, I'm sitting here with comedian, actor, writer, producer, Mr. Dannon Green. He's got a lot in store, so we're gonna jump into the interview right now. So, Mr. Green, how you doing, sir?
Good, Frank. What's happening? Good to see you again, man.
Look like you were playing golf today, bro.
Yeah, I was trying to get out there, but I had some work to do. But I played a couple rounds this week earlier, so I'm good.
See, what y'all don't know is he be destroying a lot of people out here in golf games. He's supposed to be a beast, but we'll talk about that some other time.
Yeah, exactly.
So, first of all, we know you got some projects coming up that we're going to talk about with films and stuff like that. But tell everybody out there, man, what got you interested in doing comedy and making that be the thing that you want to be? Because I know you're a very well-educated man.
Right. For those who don't know, I have my master's from Ohio State University in computer animation. So I actually wanted to be an animator.
Okay.
And that's what I got my undergrad in computer graphics, my master's in computer animation. And, did everything I was going to, that my game plan was, which actually I started a business in Columbus, Ohio called Black Box Computer Graphics with another guy. But that last year my last year in grad school, I just, people used to always say I was funny, so I just decided to go to an open mic to try it. I had four jokes, and when I went on stage, everybody was like, "Man, you're a funny guy." I mean, first time I went on stage, I didn't even touch the mic. I didn't know you could touch it. I was just like talking to the mic, like JJ did at the time. For those who are old enough to remember, And one thing led to another. They thought I was funny, and then I decided to enter this competition in Columbus. It was a 6-week competition, and I won it.
Wow.
First competition I went into, and the reason I won it was the patrons that were there were saying, because you had to get voted each week. They kept saying, you know why you won? And these ladies actually told me this. I never forget it. These two white girls, and they go, I'm like, why? They go, well, every week you had a different story. So everybody kept saying, we want to hear what you got to talk about this week. And from there, it just kicked off. Man.
Well, that even makes sense because your comedy style is more of telling stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like a George Carlin.
Right.
I like to call myself the Black George Carlin.
I'll say you go. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we fast forward a couple of years, and your comedy is, I don't want to say it's obviously Kevin Hart status because it's not, but you get into a time where you're thinking about, should I continue to do this? What made you say, this is definitely going to be the road for me? Because every comic hits his hard road.
Yeah, and I did. That's a great question. I did. I think the turning point for me was everybody that comes out to California or anywhere in the country that grabs the mic thinks they're funny. Right. I mean, I don't care who you are, you think you're the funniest guy. And in some cases you might be. And I thought I was funny, and I thought I was, doing my thing. And one night I went on stage. It was early in my time out here in LA. I went on the stage at Maverick's Flat, which is where J. Anthony Brown was the main host. And I used to beg him to get on stage every week, and he would just bypass me, put other people on. Right. So finally, he said, "Okay, you gonna get your stage time tonight." So I went on stage, and I'm a Midwest dude. I'm from Philadelphia, but I went to college in the Midwest. So if you wear like a jumpsuit or pants, shorts, and shirt that match, you cool. You know what I mean? Right. So I had that on with some white sandals at the Maverick's Flat, and I'll never forget it. And I bombed, and J. Anthony Brown ate me up for like about a half an hour. Wow. And then he said something, and I was mad. Like, I'm smiling on it, but I was mad. Like, I really wanted to whip his ass, but I was that mad. But I had to stay there to take it because I couldn't let people know that it got to me. Right. And but he said something, man, that I'll never forget, bro. And I really mean, he said something that really changed my career. He goes, and he was finishing up, tearing me up. And he goes, and I want everybody here to know one thing. If you ever drive down the street and you see Dannon Green's name in lights, just keep passing by. And that shit ate me up. Wow. So, because people remember, they don't remember your good shows, but they remember your last shows. Right. So what I did was, I was at the Comedy Act Theater at the time, which was open. It was right around the corner from Mavericks at the time. And so Michael Williams had, he had liked me. He had given me the opportunity to host the opening show. And I didn't go to any other clubs in LA for 6 months. I stayed there. Wow. And I just grind. I just worked and I worked and I worked and I wrote and I wrote. And then I eventually started doing my thing. And then how I got cool was with Jay again was I wound up getting the understudy of him in a play that Steve Harvey was producing. And and so Jay said, you know what, he was kind of taking a liking to me, like, man, I like your style. He said, come on back down to the club. And I was like, nah, I ain't going back down there. He's like, man, come on down. I got you, I'm gonna put you on. And he put me on, and he gave me a great intro. you know, and then I went up and did my thing, and that was kind of the turning point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that goes to show you that perseverance was the thing.
Yeah, I wanted to quit. I did, man. I mean, I got my master's, and I was just thinking, like, why am I going through this? You know what I mean? I'm not making no money. You know what I'm
There
saying?
are a lot of comics who come out here, man, and they after a while they figure, you know, they made it in a year or two.
Oh yeah, they foolish on that one. And I've seen them come and I've seen them go.
Yeah, I have too. But now let's fast forward a couple of years now. Now you start to see the you know, the light at the end of the tunnel. Now you're getting commercials, you're getting films and everything else, which leads us to the point, the reason why we're even sitting here is because now, after a long time, you've got several features coming up. Can you explain to the audience out there several of the features, and then we'll break them down?
Okay, well, I like to start with when I wrote first, if you don't mind me saying. The history of me is, which I won't say, but I had a film stolen in Hollywood before. Okay. We'll leave it at that. Well, we came up and we won, and it helped me because it let me know that I had the ideals, and I knew I could write.
So when you say the film was stolen from you, saying it helped you, you knew that it could be successful because somebody else was successful with that.
Yes, and on top of that, it gave me the confidence when I go into meetings to be able to leave when I know it's about to be some bullshit. You know what I mean? And I have no problem doing it now.
So why didn't you quit after the first thing was stolen?
It's funny, my writing partner didn't want to sue. And I was like, man, you know, we worked too hard.
Right.
But I didn't quit because once that happens, see, once somebody takes something from you that you create, that means that whatever you created was good enough to be stolen. So if you can get it good enough to be stolen, maybe if you find the right people, it can be good enough to be brought. Which leads me to my next film project that I have right now under contract. And I got a great deal on it. We got the deal last year from a major post-production house. Can't say, but they're out of England. But they have post-production companies all around the world, including in California. And I met a guy, you know, by choice, by chance. And the funny thing is, he was asking me, what are you doing? I said, you know, I'm doing stand-up, and I write too. And then he was like, oh, what you got? And I got, God. He said, well, you know, he said, he just cut me. He said, matter of fact, let me tell me. He said, because, and he works for a major studio. He goes, don't tell me because if I get it, you know, it's going to have to be, you know.
Right.
And I said, he said, well, pitch it to me. And I pitched it to him. And he was like, man, that's funny. He said, that's a hell of a concept. And he said,
so where's that at now?
So then he said to me, he said, you know what, I can't take it, but I'm gonna send you to someone. And I had a meeting with the CEO of the major company, you know, like of the worldwide company. It was kind of heavy, you know. I mean, you've been in that situation before. You're around guys that are doing big things, but to be there with you, the CEO, and this guy, and the guy's like, okay, pitch it to him, and I pitch it, and the CEO was like, yeah, and then he pitched. I wrote it so that it could be a sequel, and when the guy said, and we can do this because we can do a sequel, and it was like, yeah, and man, they gave me a high five figure holding deal for the first year. Then the year ran out, and then extended it for 6 months.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So do you have something else coming out after that too?
Well, in terms of my writing, I have another film that I'm writing right now that it's a great concept.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one. Yeah, but I got that going on right now. And then from there, you know, I mean, so the writing was what I got that I, you know, wanted to do. My major goal coming out here was I just want to see a movie I wrote on the big screen one day.
Why? And the reason why I asked, so you can get an understanding, is because why not write it and then try to star in it like the way most people? Why try to write it first and then get on the screen?
See, you know, it's a great question. Because you got to take the ego out of it. You know what I'm saying? And even though people know me and they're going to know me more now after this, you can't assume that because you wrote it, you're going to be able to star in it. Right. And I didn't want that to be the deal breaker. So I wrote this film that I got the deal on. I'm like third or fourth billing. I'm not even the star.
Oh, okay.
And what's really unique about it, which is one reason I think I got the deal, it's not an urban project. It's a white film. All the characters are white, but 2 or 3 and myself.
That's probably exactly what.
Yeah, so they wouldn't even know. Yeah, but they wouldn't even know who wrote the film.
So you have aspirations to be writing, producing, and directing, and all that?
Yeah, down the line, yeah. But I really want to write. I love writing, and I know I can direct and produce because I can get people to do things or at least work together. I think. But at the time, right now, I just want to write, try to get this film done, and then obviously act in movies and stuff like that.
It's kind of strange, man, that a person who's writing wants to not be the star of that. Is it because you know, and back inside of your mind, you're thinking you don't want somebody to try to steal that limelight that you possibly have? Is that you feeling some kind of way about that?
You mean me steal it?
Yeah.
Because
No, not you. Somebody might try to steal that thing. Like they'll see the script and be amazing. Is that why? Is there safety in being a writer? Is that what you think? Or, you know, trying to be a star? Is that?
Well, I think here's the deal. If if you're, you say you take a Eddie Murphy, a Chris Tucker, Kevin Hart. I'm naming black comics because I'm African American, but
Right.
or any even other top white comics, or you go or Kevin right now. If these guys go, oh, I wrote a film and I want to lead, they're gonna go, cool, whatever you want to do.
Right.
Even if the film isn't any good because of who they are. Well, in my case, I'm known, but I'm not that major star yet. So, but they like my writing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost a reverse role.
Right.
That's what I mean.
Point,
so they're not going after me. They like my project, but. So not to be a deal breaker, I don't want to write it me as the lead and go, look, I think today's time is too tough. It's not like when Stallone said, look, you guys want Rocky, I got to lead. No, we don't want you with you with the movie. They broke down and gave him to him. I don't think I had the kind of leverage just yet.
Right.
So I wrote myself through it. But my part is significant and it's funny. So that's what,
Right. Well,
yeah.
I guess the reason is because it definitely says your ego's not in the way, because most people would think that they have to be a big enough star first and then try to say, oh, I wrote and produced.
Yeah. No.
So you're automatically like,
yeah. Well, I knew my stand up. I knew my stand up already has me there. I've been on BET and I'm, Comic View, and I was on the best of Comic View, and and I've done a lot commercially and things like that. So I know people know my face.
Right.
Amongst the African American people, they even know my face. Sometimes I go places and they go, man, I know you, and then they go, comedian, right? So I have the face, I don't have the name.
Right.
So it's stronger for me, I think, right now, Frank, to keep myself a couple of billions down. Don't try to, check my ego, and then this way, get the project done. If this project here goes, or when it goes, I should say, then it's gonna be really interesting for me.
Well, before I let you go, you've come on the show on Human Radio several times to talk about your personal life. Had some very interesting conversations personally.
Right.
Are you thinking, and you've made them very funny, are you thinking about turning some of that stuff in your personal life, especially dealing with relationships, into any future project?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I intend to. Like right now, I got about I have like 3 films that I've already have getting ready to come out. I have a film I did with Steven Sticks, producer out of Connecticut, which is isn't that your stuff? No, you Chicago. Okay, well I got something from that too, but Connecticut, and that's called The Hills. We shot that with in Atlanta last year, and this year with Omar Gooding and Clifton Powell, Claudia Jordan, some people. So got actually and Malik Whitfield. That's got a good cast. So that's the film we got in the can. That's coming out in 2016, and then. I did a movie called The Happy Hour, which has Guy Torrey in it, myself, and a couple other leads in there. And then recently I was in Milwaukee, and that's what made me think about you. I got a movie that's premiering in November of this year, and it's called Civilian Life, and that's going to be a good look for me. It has Mel Jackson.
Mel Jackson from
Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mel Jackson. It has Lamar Tate, Lorenz Tate's brother Lamar. He's actually one of the producers on it.
I know him.
Guy's got a cameo in it. Rodney Perry's in it. I'm in it. So I got some good film projects that are going to come out right now.
Wow, you got film projects. We see you on commercials on TV.
Yeah.
It looks like we're going to start seeing a lot of you in the next 12 months.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a lot of me. And the thing is that which is you've been watching me for a number of years, and we've been doing interviews here and there. You'll hit me up and we'll find out what I'm doing. And I think what's happening now, Frank, is that people are starting to recognize that, okay, I do have talent. I'm kind of, on stage I'm crazy, whatever, but I'm more laid back off stage because I'm really observing more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm watching people, watching what they do right, watching what they do wrong, and watching who's, is down for me.
Right.
So I feel like right now I'm finally starting to make that some moves. And I feel like I'm sneaking up on people, even though I'm not sneaking up on them. But I feel like people find, and the people that you would think would be the ones helping you aren't the one actually helping me.
I know that too.
yeah. But so because of that, I feel like I'm really moving on and sneaking. Not sneaking, but just moving nice and steady up the ladder. And so right now, I think these projects are going to really be a good look for me because I got great parts in them. You know what I mean? And it's parts that people are gonna be like, oh, okay. You know, and I also did a sitcom. I did Omar Gooding's sitcom. I'm gonna be on Family Time.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I got a great part on there. And I want to give a shout out to Omar Gooding because he I have to be honest with you, man. He's a brother of his word. You know, we shot the movie in Atlanta, and he was asking me, you know, well, Dan, why don't you come and do my show? And you know how it is, Frank. You have to be invited somewhere, or you have to get the audition. You know, you still want to pop up and like try to get an interview. To be like, yo, first of all, we don't even know why you're here. You know, so I told him, I said, well, man, you know, I got to be called. He said, man, look, I want you to come up and sit at a table read and see what we can do. And I came. They offered me one role, and I took the role humbly. I took it. It was one line, not one role, but one line. And I went into not the audition, but the rehearsal, and I did that one line like it was the best line ever. And they called me the next day and they said, hey, we want to offer you a bigger part, and they gave me a half of a script. So I think everyone's going to be really surprised and like that, you know what I mean, like that episode. So yeah, man, I feel like right now a lot of things are moving on. And then get to your original question. You know, I've had a really interesting life, you know, and I've had a hard life, you know. So I don't bring it on stage that much, but I know that I'm going to start putting it out there like that. But I don't want to be one of those guys. I really truly believe that, yeah, you can make it. But something like Lawrence Fishburne told me one time. He said, man, you don't want to be hot for 5 years. He said, you'd rather be warm for 25. Right. And I feel like if I just come out with something like that, and then it's not, you know,
right, on
point, you know, it's not ready, I blew that. Right. I blew all of that I could have used. So that's kind of like a little ammo in the bag that I'm not using yet. Right. You know what I'm saying? So when I get to that point, then I'm going to be able to push that out there.
Wow, yeah. That's amazing. Well, tell everybody out there how they can find you.
First of all, thank you so much for the
no problem,
man. I appreciate it. You can find me on Facebook under Dannon Green. You can find me on Instagram under Dannon Green 66. And then I have a Twitter, it's the comedian Dannon Green, but I don't tweet, man. It's so much, man. You know.
Just tell them, Twitter,
comedian, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram under Dannon Green, and then Instagram Dannon Green 66. Yeah.
Well, thank you for taking the time. Hey, y'all, Dannon Green here, Frank Holder here, Humor Mill TV. You're going to be on the cover. Thanks. See you next time.
Be good.